I really enjoy the Pikmin franchise, ever since I first started playing it on the GameCube back in the early 2000s. Pikmin 1 was a surprising delight, a relatively short game, but fun, and fun to go back and replay and try and get a better score or beat it in a faster time. And then a couple years later we got Pikmin 2, which is everything you would ever want in a sequel. New Pikmin types, new maps, new caverns to delve into, and fun loot to find. It was amazing, but then we had a bit of a drought. Didn't have a new Pikmin game for 10 years, and when we finally got it, it was on the Wii U, so nobody played it because nobody owned a Wii U. And then we basically had another long drought with no new Pikmin. But that all changed with the Switch. This was the moment we've all been waiting for, all of us Pikmin fans. We got Pikmin 1 and 2, remastered, upscaled, widescreen, on the Switch. Pikmin 3, ported to a console that people actually own now, with some improvements, Pikmin 3 Deluxe. And to top it all off, Pikmin 4, which is not just another great entry in the Pikmin franchise, but elevates the series to new heights. You have all the fun of a Pikmin game where you're going around collecting things, but now you've got side quests, side missions, challenge modes, different kinds of challenge modes, Dandori challenges, battle challenges. And then they give you a dog that you can ride, and you can run around the map really fast and get from one point to the other, which takes a little bit of the challenge away, but it's just so fun that you don't care too much. But I was a little worried that I wouldn't have any new Pikmin games to play for another decade, because again, we Pikmin fans go without for many, many years, waiting and hoping that we get a new Pikmin game. I know Nintendo's busy. They got their Marios and their Zeldas and their system sellers. Other franchises like Pokemon definitely get a new entry every couple of years. Pikmin sometimes gets left by the wayside. I understand that. But I love Pikmin, so I love to see new Pikmin games. And much to my delight, I have played a new Pikmin game called Pikmin 2. It's Pikmin Superscript 2. Pikmin to the power of 2. Pikmin Squared. It's a bit of a weird logo. It is Pikmin Squared, and this is a fan-made mod for a GameCube emulator. Now it starts off kinda simple, with Pikmin 1's entire campaign being remade in the Pikmin 2 engine. That's the starting point. So the entirety of Pikmin 1's campaign rebuilt within Pikmin 2. And for those that don't know, Pikmin 2's engine made a lot of solid improvements. The Pikmin are faster, more responsive. They're not slow and sluggish like in the original game. You know, sometimes you're trying to command them, but they're too busy staring up at the sky, open mouth and agape. They're just not listening to you. Everything is just faster now. Everything is just faster in Pikmin Squared. And the enemies no longer have invincibility frames, thank God. In Pikmin 1, sometimes enemies had way too many invincibility frames, just frames where you couldn't do damage to them. They were stomping around and they just were immortal for a couple seconds. And that was eliminated in Pikmin 2, so that's good. And you can now sort Pikmin by color and bud status, the flower status. Just like in Pikmin 2, you can pick one up and go, oh, I don't want this red one with the leaf, I wanted the blue one. Or not the blue one with the leaf, I want the blue one with the flower. Using the D-pad, you can choose between the different types, and it's such an upgrade. The original GameCube Pikmin 1 didn't have the ability to sort. And going back to it, it's incredibly frustrating to realize this. It's just such a nice improvement this way. Things just look a lot better, too. Pikmin no longer fade out when they're idle. You can have the numbers represented as an actual fraction instead of backwards, which my math brain likes. I didn't like having the big number on the bottom when the big number was supposed to be the good number on top. And you could bring the camera down temporarily, like in Pikmin 2, to see what's off in the distance, to see where you might want to go next. That was nice. The AI pathing is significantly better. And there are numerous improvements on top of just simply bringing it into Pikmin 2's engine. The HUD looks really nice, it's widescreen. There's now an auto pluck, so you don't have to rapidly tap A over and over to pluck manually. You can just start the plucking and your character will keep plucking, and it's such a nice improvement. And the Bomb Rock Pikmin, oh, The yellow Pikmin in Pikmin 1 had this unique mechanic where they can pick up bomb rocks, and it was such a clumsy system that always ended up getting your Pikmin blown up, like your entire army gone, blown up to smithereens in the blink of an eye, because the controls were a little vague. But Pikmin² has a visual indicator showing you which Pikmin are currently live, and if you whistle at them, they will drop their bomb and detonate it, but if you wait a couple seconds, they will automatically defuse and you can pull them back without accidentally blowing up your entire army. It's hard for me to describe, but it is such a simple and elegant change that makes Bomb Pikmin actually not a nightmare. You can skip cutscenes, you can review Olimar's ship log at the end of the day, and also check out his creature notes. Yeah, he now makes a bestiary that you can read through at any time and see what he feels on each of the enemies. And when pulling Pikmin out of their onion, you can pull them out in groups of 10, which wasn't a thing until Pikmin 4, a small quality of life thing that we didn't get until Pikmin 4, I believe, just backported to the original Pikmin now. So does that make this the definitive way to play the original Pikmin 1 game now? Well, like I said earlier, Pikmin 1 was ported to the Switch, and it did get a few upgrades. The bomb rock system, while not quite as comprehensive as in Pikmin², was made more manageable. It was less likely for you to blow up your entire army, so even Nintendo realized that this was a problem, even if they didn't go quite as far as with Pikmin². And they did add the ability to swap Pikmin, but instead of using the D-pad, you tap the shoulder button, which isn't as nice. You don't have as much control. Instead of going left to select the previous Pikmin type, you have to tap the button 3 times to get to the one you want. Pikmin 2 already had the ideal way to select between your Pikmin, and Pikmin² backported it. I don't know why the Pikmin 1 remake on the Switch didn't adopt this. It would have been, I assume, easy, but apparently not, because they didn't do it. And Pikmin 1 on the Switch still has a lot of the same problems as Pikmin 1. The enemies have invincibility frames, the Pikmin are more sluggish and they move slower. The Switch port also changed the controls a bit, and not in a way that I thought was better. They tried to repurpose the C-stick to control the camera, but the C-stick has always been used to swarm your Pikmin. So now, to swarm your Pikmin, you have to hold down an extra L1 button while you're using the C-stick, and it always results in me accidentally, shoving the camera all around when I'm trying to control my Pikmin. It's really obnoxious. I don't like this change. And there's no option to turn it off, which is unfortunate. But on the Switch, Pikmin 1 got the HD remake. It is in high definition and looks as good as Pikmin 1 is ever going to look. It looks so nice. So if you want visual fidelity, then Pikmin 1 on the Switch is how you play it. But Pikmin² does more than just porting Pikmin 1 into Pikmin 2's engine and adding a few more enhancements. Pikmin² adds an entirely new campaign, Louie's Story. So basically, you can revisit the levels in Pikmin 1, and a lot of things have been shuffled around, and you're playing through a new campaign as Louie. And I'm not sure if this flies in the face of lore, like, oh no, Pikmin 2 is when Louie canonically meets Pikmin, it's established in the lore, whatever. This is fun. Even if this is non-canonical, this is really fun. You're basically visiting the exact same levels, but with things shuffled around. Really shuffled around. You're not quite sure where everything is. I had no idea what enemies were going to be around each corner, what new challenges were in store. And yeah, a lot of the maps from Pikmin 1 were reused, but they were also reskinned, and there was new music, new textures. It feels like a lot of effort went into it. It feels like a lot of effort went into this. They say they've been working on it for 4 years, this Pikmin² mod, and it shines through, because it feels like a lot, and it is fun. I was so surprised when I made it to the second level, and it was a swamp level. There was no swamp level in Pikmin 1, but they made a swamp level. They must have made all new textures and gotten music that is fitting for a swamp level, and it's just really well done. And all the while you're playing through this, and instead of hearing Olimar's thoughts, you're hearing Louie's thoughts. And Louie's thoughts are a different kind of thought compared to Olimar. Olimar is much more technical and analytical, and he's very mature, and Louie much more casual, much more unhinged and off the cuff, and it's kind of scary and fun to get a peek into his mind. And there's always little custom drawings that he's making in the notes. It's great! And a lot of the enemies that you will find in Louie's campaign are basically the same enemies you would see from Pikmin 1, but they throw in a couple of the enemies that you would find in Pikmin 2. But there are also a couple of new bosses too, not from Pikmin 1 or Pikmin 2, some whole new original challenges. One of which I found to be kind of a giant pain in the ass. I didn't much like it, but the final battle, it was so good. This new final boss, you go into the arena thinking, this is the Emperor Bulblax's arena from the first game. I wonder what enemy they're gonna put here. And it's a brand new enemy. And you think, this is stunning. At least I did. I was amazed. A brand new boss, not just a reskinned old boss. It was a brand new boss using brand new moves, providing a fresh new challenge. And also, I shouldn't forget to mention, brand new cutscenes as well. They made new cutscenes that are focused on Louie. This feels like Louie's campaign. This feels like it could have been unlockable content in the first Pikmin game because of how good it is. And then once you've finished the remastered Olimar campaign and enjoyed this new Louie campaign, we're still not done because there's a third mode. Randomizer mode. You can play through the entirety of Pikmin 1's campaign, but with a bunch of stuff being randomized. You can randomize the onion placement so you won't always get the red Pikmin first. You can randomize enemy placement, so maybe the starting area is so treacherous that the moment you sprout your first Pikmin, it immediately gets eaten and you have a Pikmin extinction wipeout? That happened to me. Extraordinary! I shall call this a Pikman. Run, Jeremy, run! Oh no, Jeremy, no! And there are many ways to customize this mode. You could have your Pikmin randomly generated, so maybe the red fire-resistant Pikmin, they'll maintain their fire resistance, but maybe this time they will look beige or purple. Or maybe they'll be very, very small. In my most recent playthrough of the randomizer, my red Pikmin were slightly bigger and a little more crimson, my yellow Pikmin were a little more pale, and my blue Pikmin were very, very tiny pink Pikmin. Tiny little pink Pikmin that were immune to water effects. And you never know what you're gonna get, and it's just fun sometimes. You could also replace all the ship parts with random garbage from Pikmin 2, so instead of having an actual ship component, you're just slapping Snapple caps and random junk onto the side. You're just stapling and gluing garbage to your ship to fix it. And then once you're finally done, you've collected all the ship pieces, you take off, and you get to see this Katamari Damacy ball of junk fly through the sky. The last time I played, I had this big old bullhorn as the nose of my ship, and also Louie was one of my components, so I just had Louie stapled to the side of my ship. It's just silly. It's silly good fun. There's also a new randomized weather mode, so instead of it being clear and sunny every single day, maybe you'll have an eclipse. It'll be darkness. It'll be permanently twilight for the entirety of the day. Or maybe it'll be a meteor storm, and meteors will rain out of the sky and occasionally obliterate a handful of Pikmin, and it's kind of inconvenient, no doubt. Definitely makes things more challenging. Hope you're not going for a zero death run, because you're gonna have to babysit every single Pikmin that day if that's your choice. So there you go. Olimar's campaign, Louie's campaign, and a randomizer campaign. 3 amazing ways to replay the original Pikmin 1. Not even really replaying, because again, Louie's campaign feels so different and unique. But still, it's one of the best ways to play the original Pikmin. I loved Pikmin². I love my time with it, and I will certainly go back to it in the future. It is so good. And I didn't mention this because I don't have a second player to play with, but apparently you can play through Olimar's campaign or Louie's campaign with a second player. That wasn't a thing in Pikmin 1 or Pikmin 2. Somehow, they have taken Pikmin 1 and made it co-op. So if you have a friend who shares your passion for Pikmin, you can play this with them. And that is amazing. I have no idea how much work went into this. I don't think I could even fathom how much effort went into taking Pikmin 1 and doing so much with it. But Pikmin² amazes me to no end. I am astounded at how much effort has gone into this. I have almost nothing bad to say about it. The most I can say is my game crashed a couple times. I got a purple screen of death here and there. I got it twice in like 5 playthroughs, and that kind of sucked, having to restart the day. One of the new enemies they added, the candy stripe strawberry looking bug, I had a hard time fighting that one. He was a real pain in the butt. I thought he was harder than the final boss, honestly. I did not like him. Not a fan of this one. Loved his design. Kind of a pain in the butt to fight, though. But those are really the only criticisms I have. The game is a little unstable, and one of the enemies was kind of tedious. That's it. Otherwise, what an amazing package. What an amazing project. If you love Pikmin as much as I do, and you want to try this mod out yourself, then I will post a link to it in the video description, because it deserves to be played. It deserves all the love. It is such an incredible project that turned out so dang well. And that's it for me. Thank you for watching. I'm gonna go back and play some more Pikmin now.